welcome to A Face for Radio with Dylan Balsamo and Evan Masters. I'm Ben Curtis. Thank you for spending your day with us. We want to hear from you, so call in at 212-867-5309. That's 212-867-5309 to jump into the show. And Evan, let's start with you. What a wild summer of NBA free agency it's been. And every year we see winners and we see losers. Who's won so far?
In my opinion, I think it's the San Antonio Spurs. They got the big name in LaMarcus Aldridge, who he was the guy that everyone wanted. He talked to the Knicks, the Lakers, the Heat, and he decided to go to the Spurs, and that puts them in contention for the next 5 or so years.
I agree. The Spurs have had a great free agency, also adding David West for some depth. But I look at the Dallas Mavericks getting DeAndre Jordan, the big man that they needed inside to stretch, and Dirk can stretch the floor. DeAndre Jordan inside. They're going to be a tough team to beat this year.
I'm going to have to go with the table on this one. I do think the San Antonio Spurs are having the best NBA offseason. But really, who gives a rip about the NBA free agency frenzy right now? The real story in sports this week is the Major League Baseball All-Star Game to be held in Cincinnati next Wednesday. Rosters announced yesterday. And it really looks like a very good contending team. What do you guys think of the matchup?
Well, obviously, one of the big storylines, the Kansas City Royals, they ended up with 4 of the starters, although many more were in contention and much more were in reserves. I think that we need to have a reform of the system, because it's great that we see fans' input, but I don't like the Kansas City ballot stuffing. I think we need to see maybe a 50-50 between fans and coaches, or fans and baseball experts, maybe the baseball writers, or some difference, because this is just not working.
I agree with you, 50-50, because the fans do deserve to have that input, because without that, it's like that takes most of the fun away from the All-Star Game besides watching it. The fans want to see the players, and the media sometimes might not be agreeing with the players. So
another controversial topic which draws people away from making fans all 100% is home field advantage in the All-Star Game. And on that, we have a call. It's Chris from Boynton Beach. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. I'm down here in sunny Florida. I don't think my Marlins are really going to have to worry about home field advantage in the All-Star Game. But if you guys remember correctly, wasn't it all a tie in the All-Star Game that brought about the change to? So we don't have Bud Selig anymore. Why doesn't Manfred just go back and be like, hey, listen, that was Selig's mistake. We're all set. Why don't we just give home field advantage back to the team with the best record? I don't think there's a single person on the planet that honestly enjoys the All-Star Game meaning so much in the first place, and I think it gets players uptight. If you guys remember that All-Star Game in Yankee Stadium, it was awful because it kept having to go 18 innings. Nobody wanted to watch that game anymore. I think there's a whole lot of reform needed to be done actually in the way the All-Star Game works, and I want to get your guys' opinions. I feel like that's the most important one. It's kind of embarrassing right now.
I 100% agree with you. Chris, you said your name was? I think the All-Star Game is turning into this very weird situation in which it's really not the All-Star Game anymore. This game was originated back in the 30s, and it was created so that fans could see the players that they wanted to see play in a game that had no meaning at all. It was just for the entertainment. That's what professional sports is about. If it's not for entertainment, we wouldn't have professional sports. I really think it's important that we keep that entertainment factor in there. I think the home field advantage thing is just completely stupid. The Yankees can win 100 games in a season and not have home field advantage against the Cardinals in the World Series because some Mariner dropped a ball in the All-Star Game. It's ridiculous.
Did you watch the Pro Bowl last year?
We're not talking about the Pro Bowl.
Did you watch the Pro Bowl last year?
Of course I did.
Of course not. Of course not. Nobody watches the Pro Bowl. You know why? Because nobody cares. You know why nobody cares? Because it doesn't matter. The MLB All-Star Game matters, and that's why sports fans love it, because they love competition. They love the All-Star Game is supposed to be the best of the best at their best, and the only way you get them at their best is if they're playing for something. That's why I like home field advantage in the All-Star Game.
So you don't think the NBA All-Star Game is entertaining? That game's probably the most entertaining All-Star Game of them all, and that doesn't mean anything.
Not just because they don't play defense and we love watching teams score 130 points. Nobody's scoring 130 points in baseball, 130 runs, no matter what.
Well, that scoring's different.
Exactly. People love. Basketball is an entirely different style of game where it can be entertaining even if it doesn't matter, because you have such athletic plays, the dunks, the shooting, the scoring. Excuse me. It's just a completely different game. You can't equate that.
I don't think it's fair to bring other sports All-Star Games into this. They're not the same thing. They're completely different events. I think we need to keep this neutral to baseball itself. And honestly, this game was invented to entertain fans, and it actually was pretty entertaining before that. I mean, we've had some pretty great moments in All-Star games. You have to admit that. Randy Johnson throwing over John Kruk's head. I'll never forget watching that. I wasn't even born when that happened. So I think we definitely have to take all of this out of the All-Star game. And I think that'll just about wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll take it to commercial break. You're watching 97.5 ESPN Radio. This is A Face for Radio.